Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 41 of Direwolf20's Server Play series. Hanging out on Forgecraft2. I know Quetsy's hanging around. I think he's really the only guy around at the moment. How you doing, Quetz?
Yeah, not doing too bad, thanks. How about yourself?
Doing good. You streaming? Maybe streaming. Possibly streaming. He's probably streaming.
I am streaming, yeah. Sorry, what was... I kind of missed what you said then. Did you want to know what I was up to?
Oh, yeah, I was actually just asking if you're streaming.
Yeah, no, I am.
Cool. Very nice. So, I'm working on a nuclear reactor that I placed under Quetsy's base. No, I didn't really. I'm just kidding. But no, that is what I'm doing, is I'm working on getting a nuclear reactor up and running because I would like that to happen. So we left off last episode pretty much set up with everything except the uranium in there. We've also set up the creation of the uranium. So and then I had to go to the nether to get some more glowstone. So I think what I need to do finally is take my iron plate, which I may or may not have one of, but I can craft one real quick, and my uranium. Now remember, even carrying the fuel rods, not safe. So there we go. It's into moving slow mode. Let's go teach this thing how to make the dual fuel rods that we're going to need. So if we come over this way, ever so slowly. Doesn't it feel like we're moving so slow when you're used to moving so fast? Like I said, I only need to make the duals. So let's do that, and encode it. Nice. So if I toss this in here, I should be able to request several of these. Now, I'm going to make 12 because that's how much it takes for the reactor to start running. Well, not start running, but to actually run a full cycle. Yeah, this is fine. I can go through here. So we can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 slots available. Those are for the dual fuel rods of uranium. Now we've also got reactor plating in the center. This is not necessary. The only reason I placed this in here is because I'm going to automate the nuclear reactor and have it set up so that it will always kind of feed like this. So we should be able to automatically feed uranium in here, and if I didn't have something taking up these inventory slots, the uranium would wind up getting dropped into these slots as well, which we obviously don't want because then it would blow up and cause a big crater, but hopefully it won't be too big of a crater. That's kind of why I'm doing this hardened glass. I did test this on single player. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn close. Like, it does a really, really good job of protecting, everything around it. So if this did blow up, which it shouldn't because this is a stable reactor build that we're doing, but like I said, I always like to encase it in something, and it was a good experience to play with the wiring. Oh, that's so cool. So other projects for this episode, as we're waiting for what'll probably be a little while because we have to wait for things to run. So you can see here, it's currently working on making those fuel rods for us. And if we came down here, we'd probably see a lot of stuff happening, right? Yeah, macerator, ore washing plant. Oh, look, yep, it's already starting to heat up the thermal centrifuge and get ready for the purified, crushed uranium ore. So that's what we're going to let it do. We'll come back and check on that in a little bit. But for now, what I'd like to do is get probably an MFSU. Might not be a terrible idea. And a couple other things. So let's get started. You know what would be cool? You know what would be really cool is setting up the recipe, because I hate doing it, because it's such a nuisance to make, the recipe for the crystals and stuff. So I will be back in a few minutes once we've got everything ready. Alright guys, believe it or not, I have an MFSU. It outputs at 2048 EU per tick. Now the thing about the MFSU is, because it outputs at such a high level, right, we got to find cable that can handle that. Now the other three machines that we're going to need here, the scanner, the pattern storage doesn't use any power, but the mass fabricator, they all accept 512. So what we're probably going to want to do, but the replicator can accept 2048, believe it or not. It even tells you on the tooltips, in case you guys didn't remember that. So you can check the replicator there, accepts 2048. So what I'm thinking is I have an HV solar, right? And we'll set up the HV solar such that the MFSU powers the replicator directly, and then it drops it down to 512, where it'll be able to power the scanner and the mass fab. Sound like a plan? I thought you'd like it. All right, so let's get, first off, an HV solar. What do we need? HV transformer is what I meant. Yes, that's what I meant. Alright, so we need an advanced battery. Doesn't look too bad. Get ourselves a basic machine, get ourselves some cabling, and get ourselves an MV transformer, get ourselves an MV transformer. Any day now. There we go. Cool. HV transformer then will just require a circuit, which should be easy to make. And then I actually happen to have that battery down here. Why don't we just use this instead of going through all the trouble of crafting a new one? And yeah, the machine's down there. Oh yeah, that's probably right. They're probably dead, aren't they? Because I don't have power going down to this thing at all ever. Yeah, so it's probably in the middle of trying to get all the uranium I want, and I don't have any power set up to it. Yeah. I should probably just wind up using the machines up here, shouldn't I? How hard is it to make this? Sulfur, lead dust. Let me get this going, and then I'll be back once I'm done crafting it all. You know, guys, I just discovered something. Oh, and Tema joined us. I think if I apply a redstone signal to the thermal centrifuge, it keeps the heat even after it's finished processing. That would be really cool. I'm really interested to see if that works, to be honest with you. But I noticed that the one upstairs, even though it's not actually doing anything, is keeping the heat. So let's see what happens. Yeah, look, it's charging up to 5,000. Nice. So it caps out the heat. That's cool. Probably drains a little bit of power, but that's okay. It means I don't have to heat up the thermal centrifuge all the time. That's really nice. So you can see I'm actually like manually doing this upstairs just because I'm waiting for, you know, that much uranium to come in and stuff. It's just, you know, instead of running back and forth with the battery for like the one time I'm going to have to do it up here, I decided to just do it manually with all my ore washers downstairs and everything. So I'll be back in a few when it's done. Alright guys, we're back. I don't know how crazy of an idea this is, but I'm going to try it just because I need to. First, I'm getting some order shards, and we're going to put them like so to get some stone. Cool. And you can come back out of here because I need you guys, this, and this. Hooray! Transvector interface. We're going to see if the transvector interface works with the nuclear reactor. I should probably test this in single player because this is the exact kind of thing I might do and crash the server. Because it occurs to me right now the nuclear reactor is a multi-block kind of sort of thing, so I'm guessing it'll work.
Should do.
It should work, right?
Yeah, it should work. It's just using the interfaces.
Alright. You say should work. I say probably test on single player just to make sure, because the last thing we want to do is crash. Alright. And then I need the transvector binder. So I'm going to go test this in single player, and if it works, we're going to use it so that I can completely encase my nuclear reactor in, you know, damage resistant stuff. You know how usually I have to like run wires and stuff into it? Not anymore. Alright guys, we're back. Good news, didn't crash my single player game. Bad news, while I can hook up eye-sightedness to it for like pumping items in and out, I cannot get the power to transfer to the transvector interface. So we're going to have to run a wire to this thing anyway. Not that that's the end of the world. So I'm thinking maybe if I had my MFSU here, and then right next to that we want the replicator, and then scanner, pattern storage, scanner. I like how I broke those and put them back when it didn't need to happen. But anyway, replicator, pattern storage, scanner, mass fab. And we'll have under here will be the HV, well, probably here, right? So that we've got basically cabling, HV, powering these three guys. Cabling. Sound like a plan? I hope so, because that's what it's going to be. So to get this guy over here, we're going to want to be a tiny bird. So let's get underneath the nuclear reactor. See, this is what I love about Morph, being able to do stuff like this. Oh, by the way, this hardened glass, when you break it, it does shatter. But if you break it with Silk Touch, you're okay. I might need more of this cabling, but we're going to find out. And what I should do is make this look somewhat appropriate. So, there we go.
Hmm.
What's that?
Sorry, Di, were you trying to get power out of the nuclear reactor?
Yes.
I think I managed to get it to work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Uh, Basically, put the. Sorry, hang on.
That'll do. Into the side there. And then this will run to here. So we're going to need a little bit more cabling, but carry on. I'm listening.
Coughing a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, not connecting it directly to the nuclear reactor, but placing a bit of fiber cable between the nuclear reactor and the transvector interface, and connecting the transvector interface to an MFSU.
Oh, that
Um,
works.
mm,
That's interesting. So if I had the transvector interface inside, well, then I'd need two. I need one for power, and I need one for, right, for items. Because I'd want the one inside the reactor. Yeah. Maybe I'll try that later. For now, I already ran the cabling, so. Yeah, I already ran the
Oops.
cable, so I'll hold off on that.
Blew up my
Okay.
single
What's that?
player world.
Oh, blew it up? You had too much uranium in there? So that'll
Pretty
be that
much.
guy. Those will output power. We'll do a forced step down, and then you can output power here and here. That ought to look good. Just this one cable here. So we're going to want to move him a little further away. Just so I can cover it up and make it look nice. Because that's what Dyer's trying to do this season. Make things look nice. Yeah, that looks good, right? Cool. So this will be the MFSU, and I should have my wrench around here somewhere. Wrench, 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 electric wrench. Shift click to face it the opposite side that you click on, and now we're talking. So that looks good, right? So we can see the wire running there. That's good. I like the look of that. Next up, we're going to want the transvector interface. So this is the part where we're going to want, I want to have an interface. So let me get one of these. And come on now, buddy. Don't take forever on me. All right, while I'm waiting, cables from ME. Should probably get a couple more of those. Interface ready? Cool. I want my uranium fuel rods, 12 of them. That's what I'm going to need. And then I'm going to need translocators. Well, or I could just do, you know what I can do? I'll do item ducts. Just one. Cool. And I could probably have this well hidden if I wanted to. Well, it doesn't need to be hidden. Maybe I'll put it right here. This might not be a bad spot for it. If I want to move it later, I can. But I want my ME interface, and I'm going to want my ME cabling. And basically, we want to... You... Item duct. That's okay that doesn't connect. Maybe it'll connect after I connect them. So let's do that now first, and then I'm going to replace my item duct. Transvector interface thingy, my bobber. I should be able to put this right here. I click on the interface first, that's right. Location set, and binding complete. Cool. I wonder if this will visually connect now. Oh, look at that, it does. That's cool. All right. I know, it's the little things that make me excited. Definitely going to need more cabling here, but at least I'll get started. Remember, I requested the crafting earlier, so it should be ready. Cool. This design should work out pretty well, I think. Alright, now that you're linked up, I can tell you export config 12 dual fuel rods at all times. So what that'll do is it'll constantly keep 12 dual fuel rods in supply, ready to go with the ME interface. Okay. Now, if we're ready for this, if I set this guy to do this, we should have fuel rods show up in here. Ha! Perfect. Look at that. They all just appeared. That is perfect. Now, if we look again, we should see... Oh, look, the canning machine's running. Why would the canning machine be running? Because we told this machine to keep 12 dual fuel rods at all times. So once it used the 12 that it had, it's going to go ahead and start making more. But like I said, we're probably going to just, get rid of the ME interfaces here. Even though I went to all the trouble of crafting it and everything, I'm just going to process all my uranium in bulk. So as soon as it shows up, it'll run through all the processing here. Nice. One other thing I'd like to do is transfer power over to the CESU, or at least to my machines. I don't even know if I need a CESU anymore. I could probably just run the power line over. So what I'll probably do is sneak under the floor here. I did bring an MV transformer with me. I should get some gold cabling. Should probably get some more gold cabling. Don't ask me why I just went through my portal when I didn't need to. Probably because I'm a derp. And what I'll do is I'll set this guy up here.
Daya, why did you go through your portal when you didn't need to?
Because I'm a derp. It's what I do. I didn't want to break that. Probably don't want to go right here. You know what I'll do? Let's go up one more. Then we can kind of see the cabling running down. Oh, now see I'm interacting with that. All right, let me find a good spot. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll do it one lower, and then we won't see the cable running. That's no big deal. Alright, we should be getting close to our machines somewhere around here. There it is. Cool. Awesome. And we will place our MV transformer like so. Make sure it's oriented properly. Fixed step down, and then cool. Alright, be right back. So what do you think, guys? Are we ready to turn this thing on or what? I think so.
Ooh.
So I'm a little nervous, because watch me, I ran something wrong or I did something wrong and kaboom, right? But we should be okay. Basically, the MFSU should start getting power. We've got all our stuff ready. I think what I'm going to do is I've got some signal terminals and some signal buses and some spools of wire. So have you tried this at all, Tema, yet?
No, I haven't.
All right, check this out, dude. This is so cool. I'm going to put the lever for this here. So let's go back here. All right, so I'm going to put a lever on this wall, Tema. And I'm going to put a signal terminal behind that lever. Okay. And in fact, what I'll probably do, it doesn't really matter where I do this, but I think there is a limit to the block range, so I'll probably just put it like... So, come down here, and you'll see I'm putting a signal bus down at the end there, like right there, the red thing.
Vaguely.
Right in the distance. Alright, so take that spool of wire I gave you.
Do I need to come and ensure the safety of my base?
No, you'll be fine. So you got the spool of wire?
Famous last words.
Yeah.
So click on the front red piece of the thing on the lever, and then click on the thing in the distance. So is there like a red line going between them now?
Yeah.
Cool. Then come out here and click on this red thingy here. And then click on that thing in the middle again, the distant one. Cool.
Okay.
And then let me have the bundles of wire again, just so I can make sure you didn't derp it up. Hey, looks good to me. Nice job. All right, so what that does is now the two nodes are connected to each other. Cool. All right, stand back. I'm closing the door, and I'm activating the nuclear reactor. We haven't exploded yet, and we're getting power. Awesome. Look, we're getting power, guys. We can see.
Red letter day.
Yeah, really, no kidding. My thermal centrifuge is running once again. Maybe. Are we getting enough power here? We are. We're gaining power over in our thermal centrifuge, so that's good news. I could have run the power line up to the CESU, but I didn't. Maybe I'll go in there and add that and just leave the CESU in here. It doesn't really need to be here, so I'm kind of just considering omitting it. Like, I'll probably just do it now. See you later, CESU. Don't need you anymore. We can just cover all this stuff up. All right. We've got nuclear power. I love it. So this thing should run pretty smoothly. We can open the door. It shouldn't hurt. Yeah, look at that. We're starting to get damage values on our fuel rods, which is good. Everything else is doing its thing. So cool. And we're 360 EU per tick, and the heat level is staying low. I did check in single player. The heat level is recorded as like a bar. It's not a number. So like you see like a little green bar starting here, and I don't know if it is green throughout or if it eventually becomes yellow and red. I'm not really sure. But hopefully we will never find out. All right, so now that I've got that up and running, what do I have in my inventory that is sharing the battery of this thing? I don't know, but my electric wrench should be dying from power, and it's not, and I don't know why that is. Why would you be on? All right, so I'm going to take you, and you're coming with me, buddy. See, now it's lossless. Okay, that's good. That's what I meant by it should have died and didn't. Be very careful with all these things. The last thing I want to do is have something break on me, or not be able to pick it up because my inventory is full. That would also be bad. Put all these things away. Oh, whoa, hey, power loss. Right. Probably don't want to break that line. Power's back. Good. I can put this away too. Alright. And you're coming with me? And how are you doing? You're just waiting. There's nothing in the internal buffer. You're coming with me. Excellent. Finally, I would like to take this. There's a reason I was storing it in there, because it's transportable. Haha. Nice. See, guys, I had a plan all along, sort of. Alright, I'll clean this up later. I'm just going to have to move it underground, because remember this power line is also powering the AE system, so I can't just completely remove it, I have to move it underground. Alright, so we've got everything we need here to go. We'll bring this downstairs, and we're going to hook this up. So remember I said replicator goes here, and it's very important that we do this right, because if I do it wrong, things will blow up, and I'll be very upset. So replicator, there. Cool. Pattern storage goes next to the replicator. Goes next to the scanner. And then finally at the end here we'll have our first of hopefully many mass fabricators. Boom. How's it going? And then we can put our cobblestone structure pipe. Might use a transvector interface again, we'll see. But for now, I'll do you, and no amplifier or redstone signal. That'll prevent it from running and draining power out of the MFSU when we don't want it to. The MFSU is currently draining rapidly because the replicator and the scanner all have very large internal buffers of power. So it's outputting 2048 EU per tick, and it's getting 360. So much lower receiving than sending. There we go. Want to make sure that door stays closed. I could even hook it up with the same lever if I wanted to. Eventually, though, what I'm going to do is set it up so that when the MFSU is full, we're going to turn off the reactor. So I have to do some kind of AND gate there, where it's basically receiving a signal from here and receiving a signal from the lever, because this will be like an emergency shutoff that I usually like to do. Rarely do I ever have to actually use it, but it's always nice to be able to come in here and just turn off the reactor no matter what, even if the MFSU still needs power. So I have to do a little AND gate building, but that shouldn't be a big deal. So this guy can store 40 million EU, but remember I said last episode, I forget what the number was, but I think it almost produces double that, this reactor. So we should have a full MFSU before this reactor is done running. So before I do let this run and log off, I should set up the detector, the AND gate thing. Yeah, that would probably be good. Or I could like knot it or something. I don't know. If I put a knot gate inside there, it would probably be even better. But we'll see. Anyway, guys, we will be back in a moment. All right, so the internal buffers have finished filling up, and the MFSU is starting to charge. We've got power coming in here. Overall, I'd say this was a successful build. Look at that. This thing's not pumping items out, obviously. It's kind of backstuffed. We've got our dual fuel rods here ready to go. It's still processing them. It'll continue to process them. I will probably, like I said, set this thing up to eventually, once I've got everything automated and everything, just export uranium directly into it. But for now, we're kind of conserving power on this. We don't want to completely burn through all our power until we're completely ready. Like I want to set up the gate conditional here. I wonder if I can probably do it behind the wall. How tricky would it be to do back here? Yeah. Because I basically want an AND gate, right? I want to have this on and this needing power. So we'll need some other stuff. I'm going to play with it a little bit. We'll see. Let's do this. Let's see. I've got you, and I've got my spool of wiring, right? We'll say emit if full. Emit redstone signal if you're full on power. Okay. Emit if partially full. Empty. Do not output. Do not output unless full. Nothing. Emit if full. So I could have the signal thing directly on it, or I could build a gate, because gates can detect and do a redstone signal if, not full. So it's either emit on not full or do, like I said, a not conditional on this or that not. Yeah. All right. Let me play around with it a little bit. You know what I might do? Maybe I'll work on it between this episode and next and come up with a good design, because I do want it to be like nice and solid and stable. Like there's a couple ways I could do it, and I kind of want to just come up with the best way available. But for now, we've got a nice stable design. Look at this. We only have one output, and that's the power line down there. Tema did find a way to do it. He said if we had the MFSU inside and we had the transvector interface outside, it seems to work. So I don't know why that would work and the nuclear reactor bit wouldn't.
Other way around.
Oh, wait, what? So you transvectored the, what, MFSU?
The power coming out of the reactor. And
Really?
Well, yeah, I put the transvector interface inside the reactor chamber and connected up to the MFSU.
Oh, okay. So you had the transvector in there, and you had the
Yeah.
MFSU out here, and you transvectored them so that the nuclear reactor was essentially touching the MFSU. So why would that work, and
Well,
transvectoring the reactor itself wouldn't?
It didn't quite work. I had to have a piece of fiber cable connecting the transvector interface to the reactor.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
That's
I think it might be a little buggy.
Yeah, I mean, it just might be that weird. I'm trying to interact that way. If we can mess around with it, maybe we'll find a way to get it to work. I'm sure it's doable, but it's not that big a deal. I don't really mind having the cable coming out the bottom. Plus, it kind of looks cool. So for now, though, unfortunately, I think we do have to wrap up the episode. So next episode, we will come back. I will automate the turning off the reactor when the MFSU is full. For now, I'm going to turn it off. So that should stop this thing from, getting power, which it did. We can go in and see what kind of fuel rod usage we have. Not too bad. We still have plenty of charge left in the fuel rods. He actually buffed nuclear power a bit, didn't he?
Not sure.
I think he made them last twice as long or something like that. Like, it's still the same amount of energy output, but they last twice as long, so you get twice as much power from it. Anyway, nuclear reactors definitely received a large buff. Because basically, yeah, they wanted to make sure that, everything was doing what it wanted to do. So all these things are getting all the power they need. That's good to see. A little bit of flickering here, but that's okay. Not a big deal. It's just because we're, dropping it down to MV, and we've only got one transformer upgrade in. If it ever became a problem, or if we wanted to overclock it, we could always throw another transformer upgrade in and keep it on high voltage, but no big deal. All right, guys, like I said, for now we do have to wrap up the episode, so hope you enjoyed it. And as always, take it easy.